The sun was setting behind the tall palm trees of Odom village, painting the sky with shades of orange and gold. The air smelled of roasted yam and wood smoke. Women were returning from the stream with clay pots balanced on their heads. Children played by the roadside, chasing each other with laughter. At the edge of the village, far away from the noise, stood a small clay hut with a thatched roof. That was the home of Aneka, an old widow who had lived alone for many years. Every morning, Aneka woke up before the cocks crowed. She swept the compound, fetched water, and cooked her simple meal of yam or cassava. Beside her, always following her gently, was a black goat named Nomi. The villagers often joked about her bond with the animal. "Aneka," they would tease, "you and that goat. You talk to it like it's your husband." Or, Aneka would laugh softly, "Maybe he listens better than most men." She never took their words seriously. Nomi had been given to her by an old trader passing through Odom. Since then, the goat had never left her side. When Aneka sat by the fire in the evenings, Nomi lay beside her, silent, watching. When she sang old songs, Nomi would tilt its head as if listening to every word. Sometimes, when she looked into the goat's eyes, she felt something strange, a quiet knowing. Like the goat understood more than an ordinary animal should. But she always brushed it off. "Aneka, you are getting old," she would mutter to herself. "You see things that are not there." But deep down, something about Nomi made her heart both warm and uneasy. Many years ago, before the gray hairs and wrinkles, Aneka had been a beautiful young woman, full of laughter and life. She had married Toru, a strong and kind farmer known for his gentle heart. Their love was simple but deep. They had no children, but they were content. Toru adored his wife. Every morning, before going to the farm, he would touch her shoulder and say, "Aneka, keep the fire burning until I return." And every evening, she waited by the path to see him walking home with a bundle of firewood on his back and sweat glistening on his forehead. Their love was pure, the kind that made the old women smile and say, "May the gods bless this kind of union." But not everyone was happy for them. There was Moro, Aneka's childhood friend. She had once loved Toru in silence, hoping he would choose her. When he chose Aneka instead, something dark began to grow inside her, jealousy. She smiled during the wedding, clapping her hands and dancing, but her heart burned like fire. Before we dive into this emotional and powerful story, please kindly support us by liking this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it so that more people who are also interested can watch and learn from it. Your support means a lot.
Thank you very much for your support.
As months passed, Maru visited often, pretending to be kind. She would bring palm wine, help Aneka with her chores, and sit to gossip under the mango tree. Aneka never suspected anything. But Maru's smile was only a mask hiding her envy. One rainy evening, Toru returned from the farm looking tired. Maru came visiting with a calabash of palm wine. "Oh, my friends," she said sweetly. "You have worked too hard. Drink this, it will make your body light." Toru thanked her and poured the wine into a cup. Aneka smiled, grateful for her friend's kindness. They drank and laughed until the rain began to fall heavily on the roof. That night, Toru woke up shaking. His stomach twisted, and sweat poured from his face. Aneka panicked. "Toru, what is happening?" He groaned in pain, gasping for air. "It burns inside." Before dawn, Toru was gone. The whole village mourned. Drums beat slowly as men carried his body to the forest burial ground. Aneka cried until her voice broke. Maru held her tightly, pretending to comfort her. "It is the God's will," she whispered. But in her heart, she smiled. After Toru's death, Aneka withdrew from the world. She stopped attending village festivals and no longer went to the market unless she had to. People said the gods had taken away her laughter. Then came Nomi, the small black goat that changed everything. At first, Nomi was like any other animal. But soon, Aneka noticed it never wandered far. It followed her to the stream, to the farm, even to the shrine when she went to pray. When she cried, the goat would sit close, silent. When she sang her husband's favorite song, the goat's eyes seemed wet. Over time, Aneka began to talk to it, telling it stories about Toru, her youth, her loneliness. It never replied, but it listened. Always. Years passed like that, just an old woman and her goat, living quietly at the edge of Odom. One night, Aneka dreamed of the river. She saw her husband, Toru, standing across the water, wearing the same brown wrapper he had been buried in. He called her name. Aneka, my love. She ran toward him, but the water widened between them. Toru. Come home, she cried. But he only said, the truth is not buried. Look closely, Aneka. Look where you never looked before. Then he turned into a shadow and disappeared into the dark. She woke up shaking, heart pounding. The next morning, Nomi was staring at her from the doorway, silent, still, watching. Aneka whispered to herself. It was just a dream. But deep inside, she felt something was coming. Aneka sat by her fire roasting yam, humming softly. Nomi, her black goat, sat beside her as usual. The flames flickered, throwing long shadows on the mud wall. Suddenly, she heard a voice. It was deep and gentle, a man's voice. You still roast yam the same way, Aneka? Aneka froze. Her heart almost stopped. She looked around quickly, there was no one. Only the goat beside her, chewing slowly. She swallowed hard. Who said that? Silence. Then again, the voice came. Don't be afraid, Aneka. It is me, Toru. Her hand shook. The roasted yam dropped from her fingers. Who are you? She cried. The goat looked at her with calm, human-like eyes. It is me, your husband. The God sent me back to you. I have walked long through the spirit road. Aneka fell to her knees, trembling. No, it cannot be. Toru is dead. I buried him with my own hands. You buried my body, the goat said, but not my truth. Tears filled her eyes. What do you mean? The goat stepped closer. I did not die by sickness, Aneka. I was poisoned. The palm wine that night, it was death in a cup. Aneka's mouth opened, but no sound came out. She stared at the goat, shaking her head. Poison. But who would do such a thing? The goat's eyes turned toward the darkness. Moru. Aneka gasped. Moru. My friend. She wanted me for herself. When I refused her, she smiled and gave me death. She thought the gods would sleep, but they never do. Aneka covered her mouth, crying softly. No, not Moru. She mourned with me. She mourned her own crime, the goat interrupted. The gods have allowed me to return in this form, to protect you and reveal the truth. She will come again, Aneka. This time for you. Do not eat or drink from her hand. Aneka could not speak. She looked at the goat with fear, confusion, and sorrow. Then she whispered. Toru, my love, if this is truly you, give me a sign. The goat lifted its leg and revealed a small scar, the same scar Toru had from a childhood cut. Aneka cried harder. It's you? It's truly you. The goat's voice softened. Yes. But I cannot stay for long. My time in this form is short. Listen to me, when Moru comes, act normal. The gods will show their power before all. Then the goat turned away and lay down beside the fire. Days passed quietly. Aneka tried to live as if nothing had happened, but every sound made her heart jump. She barely ate. Each time she fetched water from the stream, she looked behind her, expecting Moru to appear. Then, one afternoon, The sound of footsteps came from the path. Aneka looked up. It was Moro, smiling widely and carrying a calabash. Aneka, my dear sister. It has been too long. I brought palm wine and fresh meat from the market. Let's eat together. Aneka forced a smile. Moro, you always remember me. Sit down. Moro sat under the mango tree and began to talk as if nothing had ever happened. She laughed, told stories, asked about the goat, and acted friendly. But Aneka's eyes never left the calabash. When Moro offered her a cup, Aneka took it calmly but did not drink. Instead, she poured a second cup and pushed it toward Moro. Drink with me, my friend. Moro laughed nervously. No, no. I have already had some on my way here. Aneka smiled faintly. Then a little more will not hurt. It is rude to bring wine and not share. Before Moro could answer, a strong wind blew across the compound, making the calabash rattle on the ground. The goat, Nomi, stood suddenly and began to circle them slowly. Moro froze. The air felt heavy. Then a deep voice echoed through the compound, the same voice Aneka heard that night. Moro, do you remember this wine? Moro's hands began to shake. She looked around, terrified. Who is speaking? It is I, Toro. You gave me death with this drink, and now you bring the same to my wife? Moro screamed, dropping the cup. No. This is witchcraft. This is not real. The villagers nearby heard her cries and came running. Soon, the compound was full of people, men, women, and children. The goat stood in the center, its eyes glowing faintly like hot coal. The eldest man, Papa Dogo, pushed through the crowd. What is happening here? He demanded. Aneka pointed at Moro with shaking hands. She brought wine to kill me. The goat spoke, with Toru's voice. He said she killed him years ago. The villagers gasped. Papa Dogo looked at Moro. Is this true? Moro stammered. No. No, it's a lie. How can a goat speak? This is madness. But the goat turned to her and said clearly, you killed me with the same hands you used to deny it now. You mixed poison in the wine and watched me die. The crowd murmured in fear. Some began to bow their heads, whispering prayers. Moro fell to her knees. Stop. Please, stop, she cried. But the goat continued, its voice heavy and calm. You will drink from your own calabash, and the truth will be seen by all. Papa Dogo raised his hand. Enough of the shouting. The gods have shown a sign, and we must not ignore it. He picked up the fallen calabash and poured a little of the wine into a small cup. Moro, he said, if your hands are clean, drink. Moro's eyes widened. No. I cannot. Then you confess your guilt, Papa Dogo replied. The crowd murmured again. Moro's lips trembled. Tears rolled down her cheeks. It was not my fault, she screamed. I loved him. He should have been mine. Every day, they laughed together while I watched from the shadows. I only wanted him to see me. She fell to the ground, crying. I mixed the poison, but I didn't mean for him to die so fast. The gods punished me already. I see his face in my dreams every night. The villagers gasped. Women covered their mouths. Papa Dogo looked at her sadly. You cannot hide from your own shadow, Moro. The gods see everything. He turned to the people. Let it be known today that Moro killed Toru, son of Doka. Let her drink what she prepared. Moro screamed and tried to run, but two young men held her arms. She struggled, crying, begging, but they did not let go. Papa Dogo poured the remaining wine into a cup and raised it. The truth must drink truth. He forced the cup to her lips. Moro swallowed once, twice, then began to cough violently. Her body twisted. Her eyes rolled back. In moments, she fell to the ground, lifeless. The crowd was silent. Only the sound of the wind moved through the trees. Then the goat turned to Aneka one last time. Justice has walked its road. My journey ends here. The villagers watched as the goat slowly walked toward the forest path. Aneka followed, calling softly, "Toru, please, don't go. Stay with me." But the goat did not stop. It turned its head slightly and said, "My spirit cannot stay in the land of the living. The gods sent me for one purpose, and it is done." Aneka's eyes filled with tears. "What will become of me now?" "You will live in peace, Aneka. No more fear. The gods are with you." The goat continued walking. The villagers watched in silence as it reached the edge of the forest. A bright light flashed briefly, and the goat was gone. Only the echo of its hooves remained in the dust. Aneka fell to her knees and wept. Years passed. Aneka lived quietly, tending her small garden and visiting the shrine every new moon. The villagers treated her with respect, calling her Mother of Justice. When Aneka grew very old and her time came, she lay down peacefully and closed her eyes. That night, a black goat was seen walking slowly through the village. It stopped in front of her hut, looked toward the sky, and disappeared into the darkness. From that day, no one ever saw the goat again. And so, the people of Odam say, "The earth may hide a lie for a while, but the gods always bring it to light."